For example, I'll show one a particular chart over here. Here the chart is displayed over here. You have the Mercury in Lagna. There is no concept of Lagna. Okay, forget about the concept of Lagna. This particular system, totally, we have to get accustomed to this particular system. Till now, we are used to the Parashari system, the traditional old Vedic astrology system, where we consider the house, second lord, first lord. We don't consider anything of that sort here. We just consider Mercury. If you want to study Mercury, okay, Mercury, you make it as the main planet, Lagna planet over here. Just by pressing in AstroSage or any of the software, just press on this and this becomes the Lagna. And you see the trinal aspect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the fifth house, there is Rahu. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. Ninth house, there is Moon. Okay. Now, here you can see clearly Mercury is in Sagittarius. Okay. The fifth and ninth house are Mercury, Rahu, and Moon. Okay, seventh aspect is also there for the Mercury, which is on Gemini, but there's no planet. So at this point of time, you don't consider. But if there would have been a planet here in the Gemini in the third house, which is showing over here, it will also cast its view, its aspect on Mercury. But there's nothing here. But here now we are only considering the trinal aspects. That means this particular Rahu will also view it, and even Moon will view it. See, the difference here is Rahu always had his fifth and ninth house, so Rahu will view aspect Mercury also in Parashari. But Moon has the seventh aspect. So Moon ideally must be aspecting Mars over here, placed in Aquarius. But as per Nadi, it views its fifth house also. Means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It views Mercury also. Here, this lot of difference, lot of change comes in the theory. Lot of results and difference in prediction creeps in. Okay, so the moment Moon is there, the Moon aspects is fifth house, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's aspecting Mercury. Rahu is also aspecting Mercury. If I make Rahu as the Lagna, okay, there are in trinal places 5 and 1, it will have Mercury and Moon. If I make Moon as the Lagna, then in its fifth and ninth house, I'll have Mercury and Rahu. So they are all in the same direction and they act almost like conjunctions. Okay, so Mercury will be imbibed with the characteristics of Rahu and Moon. Okay, in Nadi astrology, okay, Mercury. Just to give you a little bit of hint, we go on a Karaka Tattva based theory. Means we only consider planet and its Karaka Tattva. That's it. What is the Tattva? Karakas of that particular planet. Okay, we don't go by the number of houses and all. So for education, okay, KP looks at the fourth house and the Parashari system looks at the fifth house. But in Bhuganandi Nadi, the Nadi system, we look only at Mercury. We don't look at the house. Okay, so Mercury, if you want to learn anything about education, we look at Mercury, relatives, lover, love life, business. Okay, second wife. Your second wife is also analyzed by, suppose a person gets married and he suffers a divorce unfortunately and goes for the second wife. Okay, first wife would be the Venus and second wife would be the uh, Mercury. Okay, in Parashari, we use a different system. We look at the seventh house as the first wife and the sister to the seventh house. For a few of them, consider was second, third. Okay, third is the sister or brother, younger sibling. Okay, so if this is the wife, her sister, second wife is considered as her sister. So that would be the third house. So ninth house we consider as the second wife. But in Nadi system, the first wife, if it is Venus, Venus is the first wife and Mercury is the second wife. Okay, that's how we look at Mercury and we understand the position of Mercury and analyze the married life of the second marriage. How the wife would be, will the marriage work or not, like that. So it's pretty simple. It's direct. These karakas are given to the planet and we look only at that particular karaka. And also it tells about your younger sister. Okay, so if you look at the education of the person, Rahu is considered a malefic, even both in Parashari as well as in all the systems, Parashari and Nadi and Gemini. Rahu is considered a malefic, a natural malefic. So Rahu looks at Mercury. That means we can blindly looking at the chart, we can say that this person had education hampered. The education was troubled. Okay, there was hindrances. He struggled in the education. Okay, Rahu is also Karaka for the latest IT technology. So if Rahu is aspecting Mercury, okay, with other strong points, degree and other aspects are good, then we can also say that he had studies in IT. That means we can say that this person studied a BTech in computer science or information technology, BTech IT, okay, or BCA, okay. And again, has he worked or not? Again, we look at it Saturn, okay. We make Saturn as the Lagna. Saturn is the Karaka Tattva for profession. It's very simple. Venus is the Karaka Tattva for money. So, unlike in Parashari, we look at the 10th house for the career, but here we look at only Saturn, okay. If Saturn is linked to Venus, that means the profession is linked to money. It's as simple as that. We don't look at the second house, 11th house, 6th house being the daily routine job, okay, fifth house being the luck, ninth house being the luck, the fifth house being the past janma karma phala, and ninth house being the luck. We don't get into all that. We just look if Saturn, is there any link to Venus. Okay, if there is a link, the trinal link or the seventh aspect, or for Saturn's third and tenth aspect, there is some kind of linkage with the Venus or Parivartan Yoga, then Saturn is linked with Venus. That means there is money. It's very, very simple. Okay, so yet again coming back to Mercury. Okay, now it's as a trinal aspect of Mercury and Moon. So Moon and Mercury, and they are basically inherently enemies. So we can say that Mercury is with a malefic as its aspect on malefic, and also an enemy is looking at it. So we can say that he would have had suffering in his education. That's for sure. Okay, he completes it or not, and how to what extent he goes, we get into it at much later depth. I'm just telling the basic the information conclusions we can draw from this particular chart. Okay, the moment Moon is aspecting, Moon also signifies foreign. Okay, Moon also signifies change. Moon also signifies uh, liquids, fluids. Okay, it signifies the karakas of Moon as per both Nadi and Parashari. So we can also say that there is a possibility that he could have done even chemical engineering, for that matter, because Mercury is um, the education, Moon is liquids, chemicals. So it could be again we cannot be sure. A lot of other factors has to be discussed. I'm just telling the various possibilities. Which possibility to pinpoint, that we'll do it in the further classes after we cover more concepts. Okay, at this point, at a very bottom level, at a very basic level, Eagle's point of view, it's aspecting Moon is aspecting Mercury. So there is a possibility that he would have studied about chemicals. Could be chemical engineering, could be study about chemicals, something like that. Okay, Rahu also. So basically, he would have definitely struggled. Okay, if there would have been another planet over here, it would have made a lot of difference. So suppose Ketu would have been sitting here. Okay, and giving its seventh aspect on Mercury. Ketu being the enemy of Mercury, particularly education, it will definitely hamper. But again, one thing has to be remembered: Ketu hampers the traditional educations. Okay, traditional, normal, the formal education. But Ketu is excellent for occult sciences, astrology, numerology, and these kind of quantum physics research. All these things, it's excellent. So that will give him a lot of edge. So accordingly, we draw a conclusion.